Let's do a little cutting with this Echo today. I'm just trying to trim up a bunch of stuff, and I got a few logs over there. That's blackjack oak, and I was going to do some projects with it, but determined it wasn't worth it. So we're going to start off with this little pile here. I'm going to cut this cherry. It's got a knob on it. It's too long. Then we're going to buck that up. I always like playing with this Echo because I've got it sported up. Muffler mod, dual dogs. It's a 590 CS, but it's got the time in advance. It's got the 620 coil on it, and I lightly ported it. So it's fun to play with. If you like the sound of a nice saw, well, you'll enjoy the video. playing around with the little cherry log. Let's go cut something a little bigger. Firewood. Cherry wood is nice stuff. All right, we're gonna actually measure. I've got to measure and stick. Here now, down here where I'm at, I split a lot of this by hand, so I go ahead and cut these in half. see, I think I'll change the view. And we'll go ahead and noodle this one this way instead of on its side. So the rakers on this I have taken down. It's pretty aggressive saw chain. Then I screwed it up, cutting those big stumps. I had some big black locust stumps. We were going to grind them, so I cut them down low. And I had some other stumps, and I needed to get it done. And I ran the chain a little bit longer than I should have before sharpening it, so it messed it up. So basically I had to do what would be equal to probably 3 sharpenings, a good 3 sharpenings, to get it back to cut straight. Now that's where that machine, a sharpener, comes in, because it can make each tooth exactly on left and right exactly the same. So that's really nice. It's not quite there. I didn't want to lose so much of the chain. If I sharpen it down that far, it seems to be cutting pretty decent. I usually only use this saw for a little larger stuff like this. Not really that little cherry. That'd be good for that 260 or 250 or 62cc saw. That'd be good for that. But this saw is fun to run. I love the echoes. You guys see I have them. I'm always got my eye out on other echoes. My problem is I buy stuff, I fix it up, then I want to buy something else, so I end up selling it. So you don't even see half the stuff that I get and what I mess with. So let's get this fired back up. I think there's enough fuel in it to cut this. It'll go through some fuel now. It's got the upgraded carburetor and everything in it. So it's a nice saw. It's a real pleasure to run. It's got good power. If I really get on it, you can hear the power band kick in. And it's just, you know, it's my fun saw. I take it out every once in a while. I don't want to run it too hard, but I don't know, it's just fun. Cut it off. I got this big piece of maple in my way. I don't know if I can flip it out of the way or not. Let's see how many, if I eat all my Wheaties today. Get it out of the way. Get out the way, maple. Now I'm doing a split. I quit doing splits a long time ago. Never did them good. Don't need to start now that I'm almost 60. Might be out of gas too. Goes through a lot of gas. A lot of gas. Oh, cut it on, ding dong. Not quite out of gas. I just laid it over. Maybe it is out of gas. Almost out of gas. Pretty much it. I can't see much in there. That's why it keeps cutting over when I lean it over. Ah, yes sir. Lots of fun with this little saw. So some of you guys always make fun of my saws being dull. Well, sometimes I grab stuff and go. Most of the time I sharpen them when I'm done. Occasionally, when you have as many saws as I have, you forget, come home in a hurry, whatever. You're just doing a project, you throw the saw in there, forget it's sharp, or it's not sharp, not sharp in my case. So that's always the fun saw. It's probably my most liked video of all the videos that I do. I had a 372 that was ported from Farmac a while back, but a buddy of mine who does tree service, he fell in love watching the videos. He says, I want it to be mine. What will it take to be mine? I gave him a price. He showed up with cash. It's his. Simple as I can say it. But I'll do more fun saws like this in the future. This is just, you gotta remember, I got a woodworking business. I run the farm. Then I'm playing around cutting wood right now and actually working, making wood, filling up the, the wood, and at 2 different places. So I got my hands full as far as time goes. So we'll have more fun videos. Once I get this bed down here full, then that'll be 2 places full. Then I'm going to build another longer building or little drying shed, and I want to do slabs. So if you like to see saws that can rip through wood fast, because I don't have pine and I don't have cedar, and this is all hardwoods here, so it's real work for these saws. So it's not like pine and stuff like that. So a saw will get dull fast, and even if it is sharper, it would cut like through a poplar or anything like crazy. When you get to the hardwood, especially if it's older like that hickory over there, it'll show it's not completely dull, but when you get into the hardwood, it's got to be sharp, and you got to constantly sharpen it. I'm surprised it did as well on this much, running at that speed, and that chain is not really 100%. I can't get it to 100% because there must have been some stuff inside the locust, maybe a rock or 2, who knows. Cutting down low on a stump is never a good thing. But when that chain's wore out, I got a brand new one in there, but I don't want to throw a new one on there until I need it. So, but I got a lot of poplars right here. As soon as I move some lumber, we're going to be taking down some poplar, because I always like to mix poplar in with my hardwood in the wood stove. You run that poplar along with some hardwood, helps you get the heat up in the stove. Then you can throw some harder, some oak or heavier duty locust or something in there. You got to keep that heat up, or it'll just smolder. It won't burn. So this beech nut's really good. It dries out fast too. Cherry, beech nut, poplar, and well, we don't burn pine. So maple, cherry, poplar, and this beech nut, even cutting it this late in the season, it'll be ready. It'll be below that 20% for sure. These buildings with the metal roofs over them kind of roast the wood. It works really good because that's direct sunlight. Well, except for I planted a cherry tree, it's now blocking part of it. But I like my cherry trees. You see a lot of cherry trees around because I like my cherry trees. That is ones that I planted. They're not native cherry trees. They're flowering cherry trees. So I was a landscaper before this and a contractor. So I love my outside, and I like stuff to look nice. So we got a giant olive shrub hedge out there by the road. It's infused with some red tip roses. So it's just kind of what I decided you don't see of me. But yeah, just not enough time in the day sometimes. You know what I mean?